Welcome to Heroes of the Cape Fear, where we put the spotlight on those individuals who are inspiring, motivating, and making a big difference in the Cape Fear community. Welcome to Heroes of the Cape Fear. This is Chad Porter. I am here with Super Dave. Super Dave, how are you, buddy?
Good.
Good, man. I appreciate you taking some time and speaking with me today. I know that you probably got a lot of other things you'd rather be doing right now than talking to me, but I appreciate you sitting here and chatting with me. How's school at home right now? Not being at school, what's it like?
Kind of boring, just like sitting around, just doing work and stuff.
Yeah. So what do you do outside of when you don't have schoolwork to do? What are some things you love to do?
Play video games, talk to my friends.
Okay. So you get to at least chat with your friends since you're not able to see them right now, huh?
Eat food.
I think that's what everybody's doing right now. I can tell you what, I've gained some weight since I've been home for sure. Right now I see you sitting in a wheelchair and you got a big old cast right now, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
So, it was Easter and we were giving all Easter presents to all my family members. My dad stopped really hard and then I got flung to like the floor and broke my leg.
Okay. Well, that happens sometimes. So this is not your first break, is it? You've had another one not too long ago, didn't you?
Yeah, it hasn't even been 2 years yet. I already broke my other leg.
Oh my goodness, man, it's been a rough couple of years for you, man. You keeping your spirits though?
It didn't really change anything because I can't really walk right now.
Okay. So let's tell the world a little bit about why that is. Can you kind of explain why Dave is different?
I have like this disease and it's like kind of makes my muscles weaker.
Okay.
And I get tired easier.
Okay. So the name of the disease is Duchenne's Muscular Dystrophy. Is that right?
I think so.
Yep. That sounds about right. So you're in what grade now?
8th, maybe. 9th, 7th. Oops.
It's hard to know right now, man.
Right. Yeah.
You're almost in 8th.
8th.
I'm sure that a lot of kids have questions maybe of why you are with a walker or why you're in a wheelchair and things like that. So when kids ask those questions or have those wonders about you, what are some of the things that you tell them?
I have a disease and like I'm not as strong as other kids.
Right.
And it's a little harder to walk. Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, you're pretty normal, right?
Mm-hmm. And I have been bullied in the past.
Have you?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel when those things happen? Because I think there's a lot of kids that are in the same boat as you.
Kind of made me mad.
Yeah.
Kind of made me mad. Yeah. Didn't really care after a while. Like some kids, like they said, yeah, I don't need that wheelchair. I can walk. And then like all this stuff, like when I was able to walk.
Yeah.
And this girl pulled a chair from under me. And all this stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. Man, kids can be cruel sometimes. It is definitely, it's tough, but you have kept a good attitude. I know that for sure. Do you expect once this kind of passes and you get the cast off and you start to get back, do you think you'll be back to walking, or do you kind of think that scooter's going to be?
I think that the scooter's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
Because like I was like kind of close to walking and then I just gave up.
Yeah.
And then my muscles got weak and then I tried it again and then broke my leg.
Does it make you scared to try to walk again because of, not being sure and falling and things like that?
It's just like my legs are weak and like I can tell I can't hold my weight.
I got you. Well, I've seen you in that scooter, man, and you get anywhere in the world you want to go, and it doesn't change you as a person at all. I think you're an awesome kid, and you got such a great personality and a lot to give, and hopefully you will, as time goes on, be more comfortable and really just, I think, you educating people about kind of what you're going through so people understand and people have a little bit more compassion for other people that are different. So I have with me now Wally and Louise. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir.
This is Super Dave's
Thank you for having
Amazing
us.
Parents, of course.
Yeah,
so, man, I just spent some time with Dave, and what an awesome kid. And I know you know that. You've seen that for quite a while now. So tell us a little bit how Dave came into your life.
Well, in 2010, we decided that we wanted to be foster parents, and we thought we might like to foster to adopt. So we went through the classes, we got our foster license, and then it was within maybe a week of us getting our license in the mail that we got a phone call from our social workers, and they said, hey, we think we have a fit for you. You might just want to think about it, but here's a little bit of background information. And as soon as I saw his picture, I knew that that was my child. I just knew. It was 2012 that his adoption was finalized. So it's happy day for us.
Long process, but a great
Very long
day in
process.
the end. Yeah.
Totally worth it. Totally worth the process, I'm sure. Tell me, what was Dave-O like as a little kid? What was his personality?
He was a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was strong-willed. I think
Very
that's
strong-willed.
politically
Always.
Correct. Strong-willed, and he was outspoken.
Still is.
Always an advocate for himself and for others, which is a great thing for him, especially now. Compassionate, loves animals, loves insects, and loves all things cars and games.
He makes friends. Always been able to make friends like that.
There were really not a lot of signs of what was to come early on, and kind of tell us when you started to notice a little bit of difference in the physical nature of Dave.
Well, when we started fostering, we knew that he had some developmental delays, and they attributed a lot of his delays to being in foster care. But we did notice that it was difficult for him to walk upstairs, and when he would sit, he would use what they call the Gower method to stand up, and that is where they put their hands on the floors, and then they put their hands on their knees, and they kind of push up. They walk up their body in order to gain their posture. And so he was in physical therapy, and he was doing much better. He was really walking quite well. He could run to an extent. He could jump a little bit, and he was really making great strides. Then we noticed that he kind of hit a plateau around the age of 7. And that is when we started seeking out the specialist.
And I think too, it's like we would notice as he started getting older and he started getting taller and his legs were getting longer, it just got harder and harder just to, to walk up one step coming into the house. And it was just, harder and harder because he had so much more length to try to go. He couldn't really stand up anymore. And on his own, and then he just finally couldn't go up the steps. He would, more or less crawl up steps at that point. So we just kind of knew that, we got to kind of really look into a little bit more and see if we can figure out what's going on there.
So obviously, I mean, there were a lot of signs and things, but and as parents, you just want everything to be okay. You want everything to be normal. You want your kids to just have the best life and everything go fine. It rarely ever does for any kid. So to get that diagnosis, what was that like for you guys?
And he was older too. I mean, honestly, he was 9 when he got diagnosed. And there's a lot of kids we know now that we've met through different associations and things like that. I mean, they're getting diagnosed as babies, 1, 2 years old. Yeah. And so we went to see an initial doctor here in town, and he's like, oh, it's not Duchenne, it's Becker. He wouldn't be able to walk in here if it was Duchenne. And he was 8 years old at the time. And we found out that was wrong. That, I mean, definitely went to Duke, and we got referred up there. And our team up there, the first time we met him, he's like, he said, I'm sorry. He said, I just don't think it's Becker. He can't get up off the floor. So, we took some more testing and got some more blood. A few weeks later, they called and, had the diagnosis. And, I think we kind of knew that's what was going on, but it had been so long, and, you knew the inevitable was coming, but at least it was kind of nice to at least put a name to it and know exactly what we had to deal with moving forward.
Yeah, so we did a lot of research about it, but the problem with the research is that a lot of the information is so dated. There still isn't a cure, but there are different therapies that are being developed every single day across the world. So what we once thought we knew about Duchenne has completely changed now.
The gene therapy trials, our Dr. Duke has a study going on. There's 3 or 4 more going around the country, but I mean, that's more or less where, I mean, it's one injection and they're creating, they're basically putting into them a synthetic dystrophin, which is,
it's correcting the gene.
It's basically replacing what their body doesn't make. And so far we know some of the kids that have been in these trials, and I mean, they're doing amazingly well. And that's the future. I mean, not just for Duchenne and muscular dystrophy, but I mean, for so many other diseases. And it's just going to be, I mean, that's kind of the wave of the future.
So as parents, I know how my parents, talk about dealing when I went through situations when I was younger.
Sure.
As parents and, a school-age kid, how are you handling this? And what is your attitude and how are you raising Dave?
I mean, I worry every day.
Sure.
I worry about him, but he is the one who reinforces me. He's the one who keeps me instilled with my faith, because it's like every parent wants their child to be healthy and to be all of these things. I want David to be happy.
Exactly.
I want him to be happy. His happiness is my goal for his life. And I want to show him everything this world has to offer. I want to show him every country, every walk of life. And I want to show him how kind people are, how different people are, and how we need to be all accepting of everyone, no matter what their condition, no matter what their nationality, their health, no matter what. Everybody's different.
Yep.
And it's time for us to really embrace the differences and treat everybody equally.
And I think too, people ask all the time, well, how do you deal with it? I mean, it's like with you, what happened to you when you're young? I mean, there's no other choice. I mean, you have to learn to deal with it. It's your new normal. And I mean, what are you going to do? Just stop? You can't. You have to just learn to deal with it. And it's your new normal, just like everything going on in the world right now with the coronavirus. I mean, it's just.
Hey, day by day,
you take
all
it one
we
day
have to do is get through today.
That's right. You get to choose your attitude, which is a powerful thing. So
absolutely.
Tell me, Dave mentioned about sometimes that, he was bullied and things like that. And I mean, it is everywhere. I mean, in adulthood, it's still there as we know.
Sure.
But how have you guys been able to deal with that with him, and how has he handled those things?
It's difficult to have that conversation with him when, I think he mentioned to you that he had the chair pulled out from underneath him. Mm-hmm. That happened his first year in middle school, and it was almost like the first 2 weeks of school that happened. And the thing with him is that when he went down to the floor, he couldn't get up. He couldn't get up by himself. So they had to clear the entire room. They got the assistant principal, the principal. I mean, so everybody is in there, all eyes on him. And, 11 years old, when that happens, you're embarrassed. So that, and it was a girl, and he was really, really angry. And it's like, you can't let her hold the power over you. You have to forgive her. Because if you don't forgive her, then this is just going to continuously bother you. So he did. And eventually, they were friends and they talked it out and everything was fine. He advocates for himself. I mean, he will stand up for himself and he'll stand up for others if he sees someone treated unfairly.
I'm so proud of him and the way he carries himself. I get to see him at school some. He came to youth. I got to see him in his own element. And when he gets around his buddies and he's in his, man, he is just shines. I know you guys are super, super proud of that kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
He's a good boy, that's for sure.
He sure is.
So one last word from this amazing Super Dave family. What do you want people in this community to know about you and Duchenne's? Whatever it is you want to tell them, let us know.
We want people to know about Duchenne and you and how you deal with it every day.
Don't make fun of people that are in scooters and stuff.
Yeah, don't make fun, don't
They're
bully,
different.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe hold the door for them,
Mm-hmm.
help them get things off the shelves that they can't reach. Just lend a helping hand
Mhm.
to those who can't, right?
Mr. Chad's giving you the spotlight to talk about you, and they call you Super Dave for a reason, right? Because you're Super Boy.
Mhm.
And, you know, you're such a fighter, and you certainly deal with everything the best way you can every day, right?
Hey, well, guys, I can't thank you enough, and I think a lot of people are going to be touched by this. Is there any websites that you guys want to put out there, or anything that you want me to put on the video to let people know a little bit more about how they can learn more about Duchenne's?
I'd say Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy.
Yeah,
It's a
PPMD.
wealth of information. Yeah.
PPMD is a great website. It talks about everything, and that's like I said, it's been a godsend for us.
Yeah, the support that we've received from that group and then from our neighbors,
Oh,
our
our neighbors
entire
and friends,
community has just been, I mean, we're just overwhelmed with gratefulness toward everybody here. From David's Make-A-Wish to, you know, the things like people coming over with a broken leg, the mail, the cards, just the phone calls, the food, everything that we've gotten through all of this. I don't know how we could still have smiles on our faces if we didn't have the love and support of this community.
Well, you guys have a lot to give as a family, and I know you'll continue to do that. And Dave, man, just keep on trucking, brother. You're worth the fight, that's for sure. Don't let people get you down. You get to choose your attitude. There's a lot of ignorant people in this world, so we have to educate them.
Yes, there are.
So we have to educate them and tell them what the deal is, and we can't let them bother us, okay?
That's it.
All right, guys. Love y'all. Appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
Dad.
much,
Take care.
Dad.
See ya.
Take care.
Bye, guys.